Welcome back. Today I'm going to show you what it looks like when you take off the woven nursery fabric after having it on for a few months. Now, I guess it was 4 months ago, something like that. I'd have to go check, and I'm not going to because I have my camera right now, and I'm not going to go log online and figure it out because I'm a very lazy YouTuber. But I think it was about 4 months ago that we covered the area where we had the sun hemp, and we just slashed it all down and covered it with woven nursery fabric. So today I wanted to show you what it looks like when you pull that off and look underneath. Fountain. So I have this strip left here to pull. Just gonna yank it off. Look at that. So the ground is clear. There's some organic matter in here because everything fell down and rotted. The rain comes through this material. It drains through it. It's got tiny, tiny little holes. It doesn't really let the light through, but it lets moisture run through, which means when it rains, you get the benefit of the rain soaking into the ground. So this has rotted out underneath, and it's got some nice organic matter in there. It's looking pretty good. So you can see this area here will be ready to plant potatoes in about 3 weeks. It's usually when I start putting potatoes in. If I want to, I might put daikons in here instead because I had potatoes last year. But you can see what it looks like. There was a lot of thick grass. The grass is dead. It just bakes it from above while allowing water through, giving you this nice ready to go garden area. It also causes the seeds beneath usually to germinate because the moisture is coming through on top of them, and it'll germinate underneath. Now I have found that Kogan grass and Bermuda grass don't do well with this. It helps with Bermuda grass, but it takes longer. It just does. Because Bermuda grass is evil. You can see now the whole area open. I drove through the middle of right here. That's why it looks like that. I destroyed the organic matter, unfortunately, but that's a nice finished area, and it's really easy to put this fabric down. On my original video about using this woven nursery fabric as a ground cover, weed barrier, weed block, weed killer, tarp, you know, all of that. A lot of people said, well, I just use cardboard. Why wouldn't you just use cardboard? Well, I use cardboard as well, particularly if I'm going to be doing something permanent. So if I have a apple tree that I want to kill the grass around the base of and I want to mulch that tree, I'll just crop the grass down some, lay a layer of cardboard on top of it, and then mulch with whatever organic matter I have, usually wood chips, maybe some old hay or straw or something like that. Just you make a big thick layer on top of it to kill down the grass. However, if you just lay cardboard on top of the ground and you don't put anything on top of it, it blows all over the place and it makes a mess. I also don't like pulling all the tape out of cardboard. I don't like that if I was going to use cardboard just as a kill the weeds off block that I'm going to be moving in 3 or 4 months, it's a royal pain in the neck mess to spread it all over an area and then pick it all up again, and it's half rotten and gooey, and some of it curls up, and it just, you know, you end up with shreds of it all over the place. It's, you know, I like it, but the larger the space that you're trying to clear out and get a stale seed bed on in a planting area, the less fun it is to manage lots of cardboard. I mean, if you've broken down cardboard boxes and you've got to pull tape off of all of them, and sometimes they have staples in them, and you're spreading it all over a large area, particularly if there's any kind of windy conditions, it's a pain in the neck, and you have to overlap all the edges, and you have to pin it all down with something. So in this case, I like this woven nursery fabric because I can reuse it for years. I'm only using it for a few months. If you leave it on the ground for 10 years, then it will start to break in pieces and make a mess, and I've never done that. I don't leave it that long. I put it down for the period of time it takes to kill something off in the garden, and then I pick it up, roll it up, and I throw it in an old metal, like a 55-gallon drum. I just roll it up and stuff it in there, and then I pull it out again when I need it, and then tack it down on the ground wherever I need it. And I don't like to leave it permanently in my garden. I don't like the look of plastic. I don't like to use plastic as much as possible, but this stuff, this is really convenient. Saves a lot of effort, so I will use it sometimes. I do use it in our nursery long term, but I haven't actually had it start degrading on me yet, so, you know, knock wood. But it's a useful method, and it's just one method. It's not that, you know, you have to do this or that it's the best thing in the world to do, but it's useful for me because I can cover an area that's weedy and messy and tack it down with some landscape staples and then ignore it for 4 or 5 months or 6 months or whatever, and then come back to it and take it out, and I haven't had to till the ground, I haven't had to pull weeds, I haven't had to run a wheel hoe, I haven't had to dig it or anything. It's just all totally wiped out and ready for me to plant the next thing, and the moisture is in the ground because it goes through. So it's an easy and convenient way to do it. The stuff comes in like 3 foot, 4 foot, 6 foot, and I think even 8 or 10 foot rolls, though I've never been able to order them online. I think you have to have freight to do that, but you can order it. I'll put a link below if you want it. It's quite useful, but you don't have to have it. I mean, especially if you're doing a small space, just use cardboard or throw down whatever you have. If you can get a silage tarp, that's pretty similar. I would just put that down when the ground is wet first, so you're really steaming the stuff underneath, because the moisture is not going to come through a silage tarp. So just a few thoughts. I wanted to show it to you because the wind was blowing around out here and it blew a corner of it off, and you know, and then I started pulling it apart. So I thought, oh, I got to show you all what it looks like. So anyhow, you can check out my previous video if you want to see what we did, and I'll put a link to the fabric below. Just one thing you can do. Use it if you like it, if it's useful to you. Catch you next time. And until then, may your thumbs always be green. I think it was about 4 months ago.
3